In the kingdom of Amathemba, the sun always rose politely, the clouds always parted on cue, and no one dared sneeze without permission. Except Princess Kalinda. She didn't sneeze politely. She didn't sneeze on cue. She erupted. The royal garden, once blooming with lavender and mint, now resembled a battlefield. Trees were split like firewood. The pond had relocated itself 2 hills over, and poor Sir Timba, the royal gardener, had fainted twice already. "Princess Kalinda," her mother, Queen Zara, said tightly, holding a silk handkerchief over her nose. "Must you sneeze with such force?" Kalinda's nose twitched. Her eyes watered. She tried to hold it in. She really did. Cho! Lightning cracked across the sky. Thunder answered like an angry bear. A royal guard was swept into a topiary bush. Kalinda sniffled and gave her mother an apologetic smile. "Sorry, I think I'm allergic to disappointment." Queen Zara's eye twitched. King Malu, wearing a fireproof cloak, standard now for family breakfasts, sighed. "We'll need another suitor, won't we?" They had tried everything. Love potions, sea-born cures, hypnotic nose rings. Nothing worked. Any man who came to court Kalinda left either burnt, wet, electrocuted, or airborne. Some claimed she was cursed, others that she was a weapon. One poet called her the thunderstorm of love, then was struck by actual lightning mid-sonnet. Kalinda had begun to believe she would never find someone who could withstand her sneezes, or her secret, because deep down, she knew the truth. Her sneezes didn't just happen. They came when someone lied. The skies above Amathemba churned with mist. A lone rider, cloaked in indigo, arrived at the palace gates on a lion with golden fur. Whispers followed him as he dismounted. Not a suitor, not a merchant. He wore no jewels, bore no gifts, only a scroll strapped to his back. The guard stopped him, but before they could speak, the rider bowed and said, "I am Prince Nuru of Nyumbani. I seek not a throne, only the truth." Inside the palace, Queen Zahara gasped when she heard his name. Kalinda stood by the balcony garden, fanning her nose. She'd sneezed so hard that a sculpture of her late grandfather lost its nose. "Perfect," she muttered. "Even the statues are allergic to me now." "Bless you," a voice said. She turned to find a tall man standing at a distance, his face half covered by a hood. Instead of stepping back like others, he stepped forward. "I heard you sneeze from the palace gates. Then you must be brave, or deaf." "I'm both some days," Nuru replied with a wink. She expected awkwardness. Instead, there was silence, peaceful silence, until she sneezed again. This time, however, he didn't flinch. Instead, he held out a delicate silver leaf. "This," he said, "absorbs ancient energies. It may soothe your nose." Kalinda stared at him. "Who are you, really?" He didn't answer, but the leaf shimmered softly as she inhaled. Later that night, Kalinda followed Nuru into the old palace archives, a place sealed to everyone but royals. Nuru, however, walked with purpose. "How did you—" Kalinda began. "I studied the archives of the Twin Kingdoms," Nuru said. "I believe your sneezing isn't an illness. It's a sign." They stopped before a crumbling shelf. He pulled out a scroll wrapped in serpent hide. "The Truthbind Curse," it read. Centuries ago, a royal child was born with a gift. Whenever someone lied in her presence, she would sneeze. The stronger the lie, the more powerful the reaction. But this gift was dangerous. One king ordered the girl locked away. Another burned her name from the records. Kalinda's hands shook. "You think I'm one of them?" "I think someone made sure you'd never find out." With Nuru's help, Kalinda disguised herself and slipped out of the palace. They rode into the wind-worn forest to find a hermit named Munkai, a memory keeper and dream reader. His hut was made of dried mango skins and bird feathers. He had no eyes, only glowing pupils that floated in dark sockets. "You seek what has been buried in the storm," Munkai said before they spoke. Kalinda sat, and Munkai placed a dream shell on her forehead. Visions exploded behind her eyes. A masked midwife, a crying baby, a scream, a scroll hidden behind the throne, and a woman weeping. When she awoke, her heart pounded. The queen knew. Munkai nodded. Your mother lied, not out of hatred, but fear. Back in the palace, Kalinda confronted Queen Zahara in the moonlit throne room. You knew what I was. You hid it. You let me grow up thinking I was cursed. Queen Zahara's voice cracked like an old branch. You were never cursed, Kalinda. You were sacred. But sacred things attract shadows. I did what I had to protect you. Kalinda's nose twitched violently. She sneezed, hard. The pillars shook. Guards rushed in. Nuru stepped forward. No more lies! The queen raised her trembling hands. Then listen well. She spoke of a prophecy, of a storm-born child who would unravel kingdoms by sneezing the truth. She told of a forbidden love between herself and a warrior prince from Nyumbani. Kalinda was the result. And to keep you alive, Zahara said, I had to lie to everyone, even you. Now the kingdom buzzed with rumors. Some called Kalinda a monster, others a miracle. Counselors demanded she be cloistered, that her truth sneezes be contained. But Kalinda refused. I was born to reveal, not to rot in silence. With Nuru at her side, she took the throne's platform. Her voice shook, but her spirit did not. I cannot stop sneezing, she said, because your lies fill the air. She pointed at the High Chancellor. You embezzled grain. Sneeze. You plotted to poison the water. Sneeze. She faced the people. This is my gift, my curse, my kingdom. Weeks passed. The court changed. Secrets were aired. Truth ruled again. Kalinda became known as the Stormheart Queen. And Nuru, he never left her side. He was not there to fix her. He was there to understand her. And with every sneeze that shook the kingdom, they laughed. Because now, she wasn't afraid of her truth anymore. She had turned it into power.
Thank you for watching. Kindly like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more juicy contents.